Hey there, welcome back, guys. We're live. Not sure what happened there. I guess I have to fix it so that that intro is supposed to loop, not just play a blank screen. But anyway, without any further ado, let's get started. It's FPV for beginners. I'm just gonna check that micro intro, I believe it's called. And there, it's set to loop. Yay! Anyway, this is to give you a taste and idea of what we're going to be doing today. We're just practicing for the new guys. Christian might be here soon. Hopefully, he's got some new drones. I was wondering where he got his drones from because he kept sending me pictures of his Curious George experience with his micro drones or mini drones. Pablo Pico. He's like, yeah, it didn't work out. We couldn't solder it. I sent it back, and like, oh, I got another one. I sent it back. I'm like, where are you ordering these drones from where they actually let you take them back? Literally, but apparently Amazon, because Amazon does have the no questions return policy. But I'll share with you experience, and hopefully, he'll get the necessary time in the simulator so that the experience will work out just right for him. But I just didn't even know that was a thing where you can, put something on the flight controller, have it not work out, and then send it back. And I'm going to show you some of the pictures he shared with us. But apparently, I forgot to tell him, if you're watching, Christian, I don't think you're going to get away with that with Rotor Riot. I think Rotor Riot, they're not like Amazon where, send it back, it goes into a mystery box, and then, someone gets it. That's usually what happens with smaller items from Amazon. Like if I open up this, I pay $25 for it, and it goes to Whole Foods or wherever you go to return it, and they put it all in a big box, and then someone bids on that box, the mystery box, right? And then the seller basically cuts their loss. But let's check out some of these pictures before we dive into things. Samsung Me. So here's Christian. He sent us these right here. So this was before, I guess, when he took it apart, right? And then here he soldered on the he did a pretty good job on this one. This was after the second attempt. You can tell he crashed a little bit because the props there. I crashed mine too, so you always want to check your props. Who's that? Oh, I didn't hear no bells. I heard the bells, but I don't see any. There we go. Oh, Karen Finlay MJ7SZ. Wave, please, and I will give you 200 degrees. The heat wave. Give me the heat. Can't take the heat. Let's see. I'm not. Wave. I'll send you emoji. WAVE. There you go. Is that right? Or maybe that's it. That wave. Yay! The wave. Like yay! Oh. So there you go. Did we do it? I think so. Yeah, we did. Yeah. So just so you know, Karen. Is that right, Karen? We're live streaming, so we do more shout outs than typing, because as you can see, it just takes longer. But kudos to you because you got your first bye-bye. Anyway, so knowing that, moving forward, as you can see here, so this is where you took it apart. It looks nice. You got it together. Couldn't get it flying for some reason. I think it's an RC issue. I always remember, everything on our channel is the DJI ecosystem. So if you got a Radio Master, here. So if you zoom in, you can see where he fried the chip with the soldering iron. That's a no-no. But they took it back, and it's pretty wild. And look here, but they took it back, no questions. It's gonna go into a mystery box, so it's not like, hopefully, right? Sometimes people get stuff and it was bound to someone else. It's a nice one right there. Those were the settings I sent him. Yeah, so it did crash. And it's hard to tell if what he was experiencing was from a crash. I definitely have to go upstairs. I dined. Sam Gardner, 3344. Welcome, Sam. And then we have so apparently these are the pads to the motors. So that's a no-no. You can't put the wires on there. So apparently, if you look really closely, he got. And we're not criticizing you. We helped him. We guide him into the process so that he can get up and going. But I'm sharing with you guys so that you know what not to do. So he soldered the ground onto the motor. The ground is actually here. You have S-bus, ground, and 5 volt. I think this one's the ground and the middle is a 5 volt. I forget. I sent him a diagram so that he could see. So there he did it. This one is a no-no right here. Even though he soldered the wires on, you see they shouldn't be touching. So if you put a flight controller or something on your flight controller board, Avatar, the last chair bender. That's so funny. Anyway, you can't have your wires. They got to be smaller. But he said he fixed it, which is good, right? So that's got to be small when doing that. Oh, here we go. So on your flight controller, we have the envelope. Please, if we scroll in around here. Ah, there we go. So ground, right? 5 volt and S bus. See that? And this right here, there's another ground over here for the buzzer, but you can't solder anything onto the pad for your motors. Hello, Mick Chula. Great to have you here. I'll just say hi. Hi. Remember, we do shout outs. We can't, we're more of like, whoops. And there we go. The last chair bender. I remember the last airbender. I think Chris Farley did a spoof on it. He was doing the karate spin with breaking wind, you know, because that last ender was breaking wind, but in a different sense. So every time he spun around, he was like, coming soon to a theater near you. And then he's like, he came from the land long ago. And then he goes, and then he parts. And he had special powers. And then it was like, and they called it the last airbender. Yeah, Chris Farley, I don't think, yeah, he passed away, but he was funny. Anyway, so yeah, I get it, last airbender. So there it is right there, really nice. So that's just a little screwdriver. We've got something over here though, I'm not sure what that is on the lens. Oh, nice, look, definitely a must. He put on the what do they call it? UV filter on your lens, which is a must. And got it up and running. Looks like everything is good to go on this one, except if you look closely. Let's see what he did here. Yeah, you definitely don't want your wires to be like that. We learned the hard way, but see how they're long and overly exposed and touching the chip and other parts of metal? You can't have that. But it's hard, and that's why I recommend highly doing the solder practice board. But on his last one, he did really well. Definitely kudos to you on that. And remember, we're just sharing your images so that people know what not to do. And our last build was how to make a radio. That doesn't look like me, but apparently that's what happens when you have AI do your stuff. So we're gonna have a look at the Pavo Pico, and then after that, we're gonna do a little bit of the FPV. But I have the same one he has. We know it works. Me stuff. And then maybe do a little bit in the sim, and then call it a day. These are short little micro sessions for the new folks that just want to get into FPV. Thankfully, the condenser went off. So this antenna is the front, okay, and then you have the wires here in the back. Red is positive, black is negative. The only thing missing from here, honestly, that's really weird. Let me see. Was the capacitor? Let's check another flight controller. One of the micro. Usually there's a capacitor here, but I don't see it. Do they have one on this one? No, there isn't one. Okay. Let's see where the battery. Oh yeah, there is one right over here. Right there. We could do that. Oh no, it's sealed off. That is so weird. There's no capacitor on there. We have extra ones of these somewhere. I'd have to find one, but that is really weird. Do you really need the capacitor on here? I don't know why there isn't one, to be honest with you. Could be the first version of the Pavo, because we didn't change anything on here. You know, this is not a rebuild. This is factory stock. But this is really weird. We'll have to look it up online and see what they have on. But yeah, it's fine. If there isn't, there isn't. But what about back there? Oh yeah, we have one back there. Hold on a second. Oh yeah. So I guess on the earlier versions, they never put one on. Where's my Pavo though? Oh no, we can't have a micro session without our pavo, our chiquito. So that's here, right? Where did it go? Hold on, I don't have to go back out there. But yeah, we don't have our drone. Oh, I know where it is. It's in the bag because I went flying with Ken the other day. So yeah, apparently the first series of the Pavo Pico does not have. It is a 2S, but you would think that they would have a capacitor on here, but there isn't. Okay, that's fine. And that one still works too. I forgot what I did with the parts. I think we transposed it and did another build with it. Okay, so let's say you get your Pavo Pico, you wanna, or any drone, doesn't really matter, and you want to make the magic happen. Always take a screenshot, a picture, right, or draw out how you have your motors, because a lot of times it's highly recommended when you start working on the flight controller and doing a soldering job like Christian was doing, you gotta take them off. First time, take the motors off, no matter how good you are in soldering. But before you take your motors off, right, you want to do something like this. Grab a pen or pencil. I'm a big pen. I love pencils. I used to have these fancy pens that I got rid of, these Mont Blanc pens, and I traded them in for these. It's a Lamy. There's no name on it. You would never know. There should be a yellow one somewhere. Anyway, Lamy pencils. Number 5. So what you want to do is draw out, right? So we know this is Pavo Pico, right? Pavo, I don't know which version, but I think it's a CO. And then we just draw out the motors. And you can, as you take them off, right? Because maybe you're not good at drawing. So I'm going to take off the motors. The propellers. They're really hard to take off, but there is a special tool, which we have right here. We should have 2. This one came with the sub 250. I wonder if it works on here. The sub 250 is a little micro, and maybe it's for sub 250, right? And then we know, oops, yeah, this one's the one I got separate. And then sometimes when you get it started, look for the hole underneath. There's like a little crack, and then we can push this up if we can, whoops, without breaking it. Remember, don't break your stuff. If it does break, it comes with a spare, I think. Forget. So then you pull it. After that, just get a little snuggie in there, and this is your option, right? Wow, they really got that on there. This is your opportunity to also change your props too. Wow, and that's going. And as you can see, I'm a strong guy, but these are not coming off. And then you just keep turning, do a little twist and turn, twist and turn, twist and turn. See, this one could definitely get replaced because look, that's bent. But I think we can get away with having it. We bend it back a little bit, because sometimes they're hard to get. Aside from hard to get off, and I believe, see, the shiny part is the part that we're going to be tracing over. Hard to get because it takes a couple of days for them to come in the mail, and if you want to fly, you will be grounded if you don't have spare. So if you don't have spare, I do recommend, see how hard this is to come up, I do recommend, there we go. So see how I pull that off? You got to remember how it comes off, because that's how it goes back on. But before we do that, we'll put this like this. Wow, that was a pain. See, and then we can put, remember, this is the top, right? And then this is the back. So you want to say this is the back, see, B-A-C-K, and the back is where the power is. So we have black, and then you have red, right? And then this is for the new guy. If you've done this before, you know what I'm talking about, right? So now what I can do is, and then this is the top, right? So we're just going to put top, because that's how it's facing, right? And then you have here, so you have top right, right? And then you have here, we're just going to put top left, right? And then you have here, is there enough space? Yep, there's enough space. Then you're going to put here bottom, right? Right. You'll see where this is going. And then you have bottom left, right? B-O-T-T, bottom left, right? And then what we're going to do is, remember, this is for the new guy, and you'll see where this is going, because so many people have this problem, and this is the solution. We make these videos so you don't have to. And now I'm just going to take a prop, right? Or well, most likely we could always take it off, right? But we'll have to take the other one off, but let's see, we can still trace around it. It's fine. And then go here, go here. See, I can't get the other side, so we can take off this one for sure. Okay, put that one there like that. We're going to trace them, okay, and then we're going to put that one over there. But I can't trace the other one without taking it off. And remember, the shiny part, right, goes on the top, and you know it's the bottom because you can see the antenna, okay? So as long as it's like that, I have a video that shows you how to solder the antenna and put it back on. It's a pain, but you can do it, but just be careful with it, because you do not, that's the last thing you want to be doing, to be honest with you, okay? And then now we're going to take off this prop right here. Oh nice, this one's coming off. It requires strength. You're a strong man. And then now we can take it. Got it. All right, so you see, remember the shiny part, right? See, and now we can do this easily. And remember how they go, okay? And now we can trace, whoops. Now we can trace that one, come down, and voila. So now we got that one, right? Sort of. It's a little bit of a botch, but that's okay. As long as you get two correctly, you are golden. Just two, because then you'll know. And then we go here, here, and there. Voila. Okay, so we know the top left and the bottom right are the same, go in the same direction, okay? And then now just go here, trace that, go here, and we know that that goes there, okay? Voila. Now we know the top right and the bottom right, go in the same direction. And remember, that shiny part, or that little bevel part, goes in the top facing you. And we go here and there. See? Voila. So we know, and then we have the little holes there, and then we have the little holes there, and then the little holes there, and then the little holes there, right? But now, where'd the other one go? Oh, right here. Now, all right, we're going to take the other ones off, and again, whoops, don't break your stuff. This is the problem that people have, the new guy, and I had it too, I remember it. And then what happens is, when they put their props back on, you'll see in the foreman saying, like, I changed the motors after I changed the propellers after I crashed, but my drone isn't lifting off. And then someone's going to chime in and say, oh, just reset the motors and, in beta flight. Oh, just, do this and that, reflash this and that. And none of that would have to be done if you did this. Doing that is just going to send you down a whole rabbit hole where you're going to fuck this shit up, and you're going to spend hours, days, maybe even weeks trying to get your drone up in the air after you changed your props, when all you had to do was remember which way they went. But we make these videos so you don't have to. And it's the same with the new ones. The only ones that are hard to put on is those Toledo ones, whatever they're called. These ones, the ones that you print, and it's hard to know which direction it is that they go, which are here. See these, like which way's left, which way's right. You have to look for that, what direction it's going. So now, let's say you crashed. You got new new props, and you're like, oh, that's so cool, I'm gonna put them on. If you're new to this and your propellers are like that, good luck. Like literally, because there's no way in hell you're gonna know where do they go. You're just gonna assume that they're all the same, right? All propellers are equal. I'm just gonna put that one there because that's where it goes, right? No, it doesn't work that way, my friend. That's where this little chart that you made comes in hand. So now, hello, Baldua. So now that you did that, we know the antenna is facing this way, right? We know that this is the top. We know that that's the bottom. Oh no, we know that. Sorry, see, even I messed it up. We know that this is the top, and that's why we have the wires, right? Red wire, black wire, and if we go here, and the only thing I messed up on, I wonder if this eraser works. I know I have erasers somewhere, but we can erase this. You would think for a Lamy pencil, right, it would work. They throw in a good eraser. I'm just erasing this so that we can make it the top. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, and then I'll just fix the prop. So now you're back in business, right? Sort of. Oh, that's weird. I hear the pencil. It is a Lamy. Huh. Look at how it works. Oh, do we have lead in here? Oh, there we go. So now, if I go here, fix that one, and then fix that, and then put the circle, right? So we know that that's the top, right? So now, always double check, right? So even me, I almost fucked this shit up. So now we know that this is like this, right? And we know that our props have to go on a certain way. So we can lay this out. We know that that's the top left, right? Is that the top left? No, this one. Because remember that the shiny part is facing you, okay? So the only downside is that hole. Like they're paying to get out. So we know that this is the top right. See that? Top right. And then we have top left, right? Which would be, so we know that those don't go. Where's the other one? Oh, it's right there. Because we know that the top right and the bottom left go in the same direction, okay? So then we just have to flip them over so that we can get to this one right here. See that? And then it's the same for all of them. See? Now we know that that is correct. Remember the shiny part, right? And then we have here, now we have the top left and the bottom right. Except these kind of look, see how they're dinged up? You know, I could put new props on here, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'll get new props. So these are a little dinged up, and it's going to be a pain to just put them together. So now you know. Now you know, because you're going to crash in the beginning. Everyone crashes. Even when you're flying like me, everyone crashes. It's normal. It's like a rite of passage. But as long as you remember this, when you know where the top is, right? And we know where the bottom is, because that's where the antenna is. And you're pretty much golden. And you can tell because the way the props are going down like that, right? Remember the antenna. Careful with the antenna. I do have a video that shows you how to get that out of there, but you kind of need something like this, and your soldering iron, and or helping hands with your soldering iron, and you pull it out. But I don't want to go there. So that's it with that. So let's check out some new props, because we're actually going to be rebuilding this one. Not today. That'll probably come out in a separate video, but we're going to put the 04 air unit in its own little housing, because as you can see, if you're new, you're like, oh my god, it's so cool, I got an 04 air unit, and it was super cheap. But, you know, having it exposed like that for a new pilot is kind of, I don't recommend it, because when you crash, you're pretty much, like, let's say you want to take a morning flight, right? Morning's best time to fly, no one's in the park, etc. You know, you have it all to yourself, as long as there aren't any TFRs. But something like this is going to be a casualty of the war, because early in the morning there's that dew, that wetness in the grass. Whether it's 100 degrees out, rain or shine, the grass is always going to be wet early in the morning. So if you have your little micro drone, even though, or a little drone, Pavo, when you go and you crash, of course you will crash, and you're like, oh, I'll go get it. It's going to land in the grass. Landing in the grass is great because, you know, it's soft, right? Who doesn't want it? And if you can remember to cut the motors off before the landing, you'll be all right. But then you're not going to be all right, because remember, the grass is wet early in the morning, and that's the best time to fly FPV, because none of the moms are out yet. You know, none of the kids are there playing. So you got the park to yourself, and then except you got a wet drone that's just going to short out, and that's it. And then your $150 investment goes down the tube with the flight controller, or this thing right here, the drone, maybe even the drone too, because you'll just create continuity connection, and you know, shit will short out. So knowing that, moving forward, let's get some new props on here, right? Props out to you. But this one will be, look out for another video coming out there, because this one's going to be rebuilt. I should actually put this in an anti-static bag, right? Shouldn't just leave it. Shouldn't leave my good stuff laying around like that, because you know, we do so many different videos here that anything could be a casualty of the war. So we'll put it in its anti-static bag, and I'll save this when it's quieter and that machine isn't going off, because it's much cooler down here, but upstairs it's warmer. But everyone should be out of the house. Remember when I was young, we couldn't hang out at home. It was like, everybody out, see you at dinner time. No, that doesn't happen today. All right, so I'm gonna look in my bag, my little drawer that has the props, and then we're going to put new props on here. And then we definitely need, I don't know where this screw went, but these kits are really cheap. So the kit for the frame, I think it's like $5. I don't even know how they managed to produce something for like $5 or $6, and it's the other parts that are expensive, like the motors, the screws that are hard to find, and soldering this thing on here. But as you can see, the older Pavos don't have I guess version 1 doesn't have a capacitor on there. So I'm going to go get some props. I'll show you guys the frame, right? The frames and stuff. But so that's this here. I'll be back in a second, okay? And so now, right, now you know, moving forward, that once your props come off, you'll be able to put them on, and you won't be that guy in the forum saying, after my props were put back on, the drone won't lift off. So knowing that, moving forward, these could be, some of these could be salvaged, maybe. That one can. The one that we were trying to bend back, no. That one, I don't know, they just lose they're like, oh yeah, this one's nicked. Nicked is okay. Don't worry about nicked. but we're just doing it for the sake of this video. And so this one definitely not the one that I had to bend back. They'll still fly. I've seen videos where guys clip their propellers to see how far we can clip them before it no longer flies. So sometimes it's just cosmetics. Like sometimes it's like, oh, that's a bad one, but it's still good. You know, the choice is yours. So we have these for the sub 250. These are, I'm going to designate for sub 250. I just hope these I ordered. These are really cool. I think I'm going to put these on there. The Gefan 45 millimeter, and they should match, because otherwise you're not going to be able to put your frame on. And then we have, these are bigger. I'm not a fan of the big drones. We did have one back in the day, but these probably will fit a semi big one, the Pablo 25. Yeah, so this will fit the Pablo 25. But I'm not a fan of the big drones. And one of our viewers slash subscribers, unfortunately, I was offered a collaboration and I told him I couldn't do it. I don't do collaborations that require you to log in with your YouTube account. So no matter how much you say I love your stuff, it ain't happening. That's how you get hacked. And that's what scammers do. So they wrote back. Let's see what they wrote back and said. I'll share with you guys. They said, we liked your video that you made on the review. We'd love to be part of our affiliate program. Really? Am I that good? I'm that good. I'm so good that, well, you know you're good when they offer you, let me see if I can open up the email, when they offer you the affiliate program without having to log in. Never, in this day and age, you just can't. Maybe I have a video that shows you how not to get hacked, because we got hacked. So let's see what we have here. I'll show you. They said, Samsung me. Oh, can't see. I gotta slide this over. There was actually a fire last night in someone's house. And they said, we saw your YouTube video and loved it. We'd love to invite you to our affiliate program. It will give you a custom link that you can add your video description and earn 20% commission on every sale you refer. And they give you the link. Let us know when you submit the application so we can fast track your approval. Thanks for your support. And I said, thank you. Just wanted to share that the channel does not do collaborations that require one to log in with their social media account. Thanks for the offer, though. And then they said, sorry, we use Shopify and blah, 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 blah. No, I don't care if they offered me $1 million. People get hijacked all the time because they have a way, these scammers, of like stealing the logo and making the graphics look the same. And oh, anyway, I have a video that shows you how it happened to me, so it doesn't happen to you, and you just learn your lesson. So even if they are legit and they offer me 50%, it ain't happening, or 100%. You just can't, because that's a new scam now. They're coming across as legit. Anyway, so this is definitely going to go on. Looks like sub 250, and you need to have spare for the sub 250. So it looks like these are the ones that are going to go on the Pavo. And these look like the ones that go on the sub 250. We'll double check. The sub 250 ones, I believe, are in its box. We'll double check those too, because that's the one we're going to be flying. And down here, the kids are upstairs, so I can't go upstairs. But if you had seen our intro, you could see me flying in the house. I want to go up to the next floor. I want to go up 3 floors. See if I can make it upstairs to the, like you saw in the intro, upstairs, and fly around to the bedrooms. I want to see if I can go upstairs, but everyone's upstairs right now. I can't. I'm not. One day call and say, hey Lou, we saw your video. Can you come to the bowling alley and we want to do a fly through? No, that's not me. Oh yeah, I'll do a fly through. Can you make sure there's no one there? As long as the bowling alley is empty, I'm more than happy to do a fly through. This way when I crash, you just crash into like a soda machine or something. So you see, here we go. It's the same size. And if you look really closely, if you get a magnifying glass or when you take a picture with your iPhone, everything is really magnified. Like I can't see this right now, but if I take a picture of it with my phone, which we'll do right now, because remember this is a live stream, this is for the new guy. So let's say you wear glasses, or maybe you might need glasses, or maybe it's just too small, right? And you can't see it. You can see that. I have a video that shows you don't use the apps. Use the apps, but go to the FAA website first. It's funny, we were supposed to fly yesterday, and Ken's like, go Lou, go check it out, there's an eclipse. And the app said I was good to go. Right? But then we went to the FAA website, and the FAA website looked like this. So apparently the API and the app didn't catch up for many hours, till one day. It took one day for the app to catch up. So, don't use the apps or fly inside when there is a TFR. But just check. Anyway, check out that video too, because, if you value your life, don't trust the app. All right, so now I can't see anything, right? But, oh my God, if I take a picture with my phone, right, and then send it to my computer, like it's so small, but for some reason the phone won't pick it up. But I won't use this phone to record videos because it never stays consistent with the picture quality. All right, so we have that. So now I'm going to go to Samsung Me. And as you can see here, wait, I'm like, what size is it? I don't know. Well, that's Christian. I just wish it would. I hate when it does that. Oh, it's in down. Yeah, it should be in downloads. I don't know why it doesn't do in chronological. Or, oh, there it is, right? The order, like the newest. See, there it is. So when you take a picture with your phone and you can't see it, you got it right there. So now you know, and it doesn't matter what color. It's a 45 mm, right? So when you go to look for your propellers, so like, hey, I need new props. Well, now you know how to find them, right? So then just go to Samsung Me, so you can see me in the corner. Nobody puts Louis in the corner. And then the original, I wonder what the original props are for the Pavo itself. So now the same thing again, and this is how you find it, as long as you can find my phone. And sometimes you don't even have to take a picture and send it to your computer, because right as soon as you take a picture, you heard me, I was like, oh my God, I could see it. Like you could just literally see it. It just magnifies it so well for you. Oh, and there we go, 45. Sweet. And I'll take a picture of this one so that you guys can see. And this is so cool. I must be going blind because I can't see without. Yep, 45 mm. So now you know, moving forward, the only problem you're going to do is if you send it to your computer, it's not going to be in chronological order. You're just going to have to like run through the feed instead of looking for the first one. But there it is right there. See that? At least it opened 45 mm. See that? Sweet. And then we have here, when we close it, we should have the other one behind it. No. See? 45 mm and 45 mm. This one's a little, I zoomed in closer. It should be here at the top, because look, date added, right? Doesn't, now it's, I think, at the top. Yeah, you got to reorder it. It's a glitch with the Macs. Hate when that happens. So now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to take out my ding props, right? And then make sure that, you have that little, like this. Remember, the shiny part is what you're looking at, because if this is the top, right, the canopy, I used to have some laying around here. I do have one that we 3D printed. So if you have your canopy, right, put this here as a little buzzer we put on one of our drones. If you have your canopy like that, I wonder if this will fit on there. Nah, this is for version 2 Pavo. Anyway, but it's still the top, right? We know that the waxy side, the shiny part, is what's facing you. See that? And we know because we also drew it there, and we know because we have red and black. Unless you took the wires off and resoldered them and crossed them like that, then it would be the other way. But hopefully not. Hopefully, you keep things uniform. So we know that that's the top. Shiny. I remember when I went to see Moana, I fell asleep. I hated it. I fell asleep during it, and when I woke up, the Krusty Krab was singing like "Shine." I was like, oh wow, that's a pretty good song. There were only two good songs I liked on the soundtrack, which was "Shiny" and "We Know the Way," and that's about it. And then I went back to my nap. We know the way, something like that. I don't know the words, but. And then anyway, so now, again, the hardest part's going to be putting them on. You could use maybe a little oil, and you want to make sure that you press on top like that. And you can't break them. It's not like you're going to crush them. And then you just keep pushing. The hardest part, again, is going to be taking them off. And I'm a strong guy. But, see? Yay, it went on. And even with that little tool, so even if you put them on wrong, it's okay. Just know it's going to require brute force to put them back on. And there you go. Now you won't be that guy in the forum. Be like, anybody know how to fix my drone? Like, change the props. There's some people that will say, share the picture and tell you that your props are on wrong. And then, they'll fix it. You'll fix it that way. But the problem is that's not being shared is that some people are taking the advice of the folks saying how to put your props on like I'm showing you here, but they forgot to share that they reorganized the motors, right? And then that's the part that no one really asks. Like, it's like they just say, oh, I put the motors back on, not motors, the propellers back on, and now it's not taking off. See, and then again, remember the shiny part goes facing you, and then the hardest part is this right here. And the reason why you don't see the top is because we took this drone apart. I forgot why we took this one apart, to be honest with you. I don't know. We're always taking stuff apart here. But it does work. We tested out the 04 unit. And then make sure it's straight. And then, sweet. Looks like it's flush. It looks like it's good. See, now we got top right, bottom left go in the same direction. Kind of neat, huh? It's going to look a little transparency. I kind of like the black ones, but I couldn't find them. And again, always have extra ones. So this is the seat. We know it's the 45 mm's because we took a picture. Oh, actually, no, I forgot. Mean stuff. We're back. So as you can see, we put these on right here. See, it's the 45 mm. And we know it's a 45 mm because it's right there, and we took a picture because it will last longer. This was a little hard to get on, but as you can see, so then always keep, like if you have more than one bag. I wonder what size these are though. It just says sub 250. So I just said, even though if these might fit on here, actually, there's a number on there. We'll check it out. And these are a little bit different. These are the 40. I wonder if you can. I would just stick to drone specific. You could do that, experiment if they fit. So now, so even though they're the same, we have to be careful to make sure. Remember the shiny part. So let's say you might, oh, there's the right one or left one. No, you have to make sure that it's facing the right way. So now we need one going this way, right? You need one going this way, and then another one going the same way. Remember, because the top left and bottom one go the same way, except this one looks a little bit different, but now it should be fine. See? Voila. And now we can take this one, since we know it's still good. We can, oh, we got two left. But I'm doing okay with my flying, to the point where, as you can see, these have just been going to be living in the bag for a long time. Because I don't crash the way I used to. I still crash, but I'm not crashing to try and maintain my flight. I'm crashing because sometimes things just go bonkers and I lose control when sometimes it over throttles or trying to get the magic to happen. You'll see at the end of this we will have a flight on I think 4 or 5 batteries, depending. 4 because we used one the last time and I didn't charge it. And then push it straight. See? And now it looks like it's the same, but it's not, because this one is going, you'll see when we put it on, this is going. It's hard to push them in though. Sometimes I think maybe olive oil or something, something more organic to put on there to squeeze through. But as you can see, this is going to be a pain. So you do that, right? And if you know you're going to crash, which is fine. Nothing wrong with crashing. You know, have those props on standby. Sometimes you can push this in. See, you get that extra so that it's flush and so that they all look the same, because you want to have, you know, just evenly in there, evenly in there, evenly in there. Hopefully the other one goes in. Remember, they're not stock, so that's probably why they're a pain to put in. But now we have here, we have there, see, top right, bottom right, and then we have bottom left, and then top left. See, and this goes like that, and then so that, see how that little hole like is facing that way? That's as a no. So the whoop. So you want to make sure that the flat part, right, is basically facing the bottom, and that groove part is facing you. And shiny, see how it's shiny? Remember, the shiny part goes, where is it? Facing the top. See? So we know that now, and this is the hardest part. I wish someone had taught me this, and I didn't have to spend hours playing musical chairs with the propellers until I actually figured out which way they went. No one told me, to be honest with you. I just kept rotating them, and then when the drone lifted off the ground, I was like, I did it, I got it. And I'm like, oh my god, that'd be a great idea for a new video. Because I think people are a little more helpful now in the forums. Before that, you would get roasted, you know, and be called, oh, you're stupid, you're an idiot, how could you do that, how could you not know, read the manual. So it still has to go in a little bit more. There we go. I think that's it. Yep. And then we can undo it a little bit. Make sure that, remember, they're going to be a pain to take off. Wow, it was hard to put on and just moved off a little bit, which is great. And you'll see sometimes you'll crash and you'll be like, wait, it's not lifting, right? You put them on correctly after you've crashed, and the propeller will have broken off. So you see, we got it. Yay, we did it. Remember, the shiny part facing you. We have top left, top right, and then we have bottom right, and then bottom left, and you are golden. And then that's what I did for the bigger ones. You see, it says the drone Pavo Pico. Or you could put like a V1, right? Because we know that it's version 1. I can find my pencil buried under here. Pavo Pico. Because remember, there are many different versions. Version 1. But the motors always go on the same, right? But if you got your one drone, your only drone, you just want to do this. And then, you know, we keep our rates in there and stuff, notes on other projects we have going on. But as you can see, this one is the Pavo 20. I think it's the Pavo 25, so just make sure you label it correctly. But if you look, top left, top right, right? And so we have top left, top right. It's the same thing. And then you have bottom left, bottom right. See? It's just nice to have each drone, because you just never know. And now, if someone did 3-card Monte on you, right, on your prop experience, you'd be like, oh, okay, I got this. Now you know when you take them off, how they're going to go back on. I might save these one, I don't know. It'll still work. Nick, propellers like this, they're still salvageable. The only one questionable is the one that was bent and folded. Because sometimes, you know, but like I said, I've seen videos where they just keep clipping these. I think it was on the Pilot Institute. Like, you know, how important are your propellers? So now we have here, we can put this in this packaging so we know that this was part of the Pavo Pico experience. You know, so if you need a spare, and you're running low, just use the one that's not bent. They don't have to be the same color. They just need to be the same rotation, right? It has to be. So if I'm going to replace one, it would have to be. Whoops! I don't know what they're doing upstairs. It will have to be. I don't understand what's going on up there. We're not moving. We still live here. Hold on. Let's do Tilly. Hey, quick question. What's going on up there?
What do you mean?
Like, who's moving furniture?
Furniture?
Yeah, in the living room.
Oh, I don't know.
Where are
I'm
you?
in the kitchen. I'm heading out because I'm going on a walk with Ivy and Emma.
Oh, okay. So who's moving furniture in the living room?
No one's in the living room right now.
Someone was just in the living room moving stuff.
I don't know.
You're in the kitchen, right next to the living room. Can you have a peek and see?
Ready? It's my water. I mean, everything seems close.
Right. All right.
I don't know, sorry. But we're heading out, so it'll be quiet.
No, it's not about quiet. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Bye. It's about scratching the floor. You heard that, right? I was like, what the fuck's going on? The last time they did that, she's like, I don't know. I'm in the kitchen, which is right next to the living room. Last time they did that, I had to go to Home Depot to buy like this wood filler that you pick a color of your wood fill and fill the holes, the scratches and cracks in your floor and try to get it to blend. I don't know what the hell they were doing. Just he's like, I don't know what. Yeah, about that. The typical teenager response. Trash the house, but nobody knows what happens. Everyone seems to disappear and disperse into the shadows, and then leave me with the mess to clean up or fix or something like that. Well, it happens. I guess that comes with being a parent, right? All right. So these are ones that I got. That a little bit smaller, similar size, but you know they still work. They just have to remember how to put them on. So see how that's flat. So all props are the same, whether it's got 4 or 5, you know, whatever thingies on it. You just need to make sure. See, this one's the same one too. See, it's another the same. That when you put them on. That you put them on correctly. See, wow, interesting. Another one of the same. Why I need a different one? Oh, there we go. So you see, even though it looks a little defunct, you're like, oh wow, these are so weird. How did they go on? Well, as you can see, you just match them up like that. So even though it has 4, and just make sure that the flat part like this goes on the bottom. And that's it. Now I need to find the screw for the flight controller, so that we can put it back together and maybe do a little short flight. I heard a ding. I didn't hear no bells. Let's see what we got here. Home ownership. Yeah, right? Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Yeah, because there is no freaking super. You're the super. And when something breaks, I miss living in an apartment, to be honest with you, because well, and when I lived in an apartment, you give the super like 20, 30, 40 bucks to like do something, fix a pipe or do this and that. It doesn't work like that with home ownership. You forget the 20, add another 0 to it, literally. That's when you just learn to fix stuff yourself. You have to, you know, because there's no way too many zeros and ones. I want, and then I always tell the repair guy, I like, look, we have the zip code, but not the bank account. Give me a better price, man. Like, you got to work with me. And then that's when I either say goodbye or I go to YouTube. Or thankfully, my neighbor was able to show me some really cool stuff on how to fix it yourself. So yeah, the last pipe that I had that burst out. It was like, hear no evils, see no evil, speak no evil. Like, you heard that shit. We're like, what the fuck's going on over there? And then like, I don't know what's going on. Are you sure you heard something? I know what I heard. I'm like, what am I going crazy now? Like, I don't know, Dad. I'm standing right here. I didn't hear anything. Like, I don't know what I'll find out when I go upstairs. Sometimes they do that with the furniture. They move it around and then they play The Floor is Lava. I'm like, what? And then they jump from one end of the sofa to the other, and apparently the winner, I don't know what happens when whoever wins just gets the congratulations. Yeah, you won. And well, I gotta do the repairs. So this is a frame kit. This is definitely for the Pavo. We actually have one 3D printed. I think I'm gonna do the 3D printed one. 3D printed one is really cool. That we use to rebuild. We can get a semi-rebuild here. So as you can see, it's a little bit tricky, but once you get it in, you got it. And so see, oh, and also you want to make sure that it fits. So we got to turn this around, and we know where the bottom is, right? And we know where the top is. And the hardest part is lining it up so that the props actually spin, right? And once you get the top and the bottom, you're fine. These are the frames here. I wonder if, I can't remember, related to FPV, I'm still flying on my CAD X Vistas, now very hard to find since they are discontinued. Is now a good time to grab a pair of DJI goggles version 3. Was looking at the Pavo, but I have to get an 04 air unit. So no, that's fine. This is a good question, because we are on this is FPV for beginners, and you know, and it beats talking about the kids scratching the floor. So I got this 04 air unit from B&H. I did a live, I think it was a live unboxing on the last week's live stream, and it was only $75. But one thing I find, if you can find one, and it's not owner specific, it's not like it's tied to the owner, right? It's not like the goggles. I think the goggles, I don't think goggles work similar to the flight controllers. It's drones that are married to whoever it was they belong to, that they need for them to log out. So with this, if I send this to you, it's like, hey, congratulations. We're not giving this away, but this is yours. Even though it was bound to me, all you got to do is open up what's it called, DJI system for consumer drones, make sure you're logged in, and boom, it's activated. Same thing with the goggles, DJI system. So if you can find a secondhand, but the only thing with the goggles is that I would never buy a pair of goggles off the internet because of it, you know, like we don't know if it works, what's the story behind them. I always do cash for goods. Like I drove 5 hours to get my Mavic 4 Pro. I got it from some guy who got it from Canada, right? Apparently he had his drone business and didn't realize he needed, you know, more than one Mavic 4 Pro. Didn't need more than one, and I just drove 5 hours. And, you know, similar to that. So if you have the transportation, you're okay taking that risk, drive, meet them in an open area at the gas station where there are cameras, someplace public, inside, you know, and then that was it. So if you can do that, that's great. But back to the drone that you have, the Cat X, and you can't fly it because you don't have parts or whatever, you would never know that I have a Mobula 8, right? We rebuilt this from scratch, but the only thing that makes it the Mobula 8 is the frame. It's got the 03 air unit, the flight controller from the Pavo Pico, and the motors from I don't know where, but as you can see, we jerry-rigged it and resoldered it from scratch. But the point is that, yeah, you got your Cat X Vista, but if you can find the right frame that fits it, it's basically the same thing. And like 95% of these drones, when you look at them, the specs, the flight controller is the same. And the only thing that's making them different is the body. So basically I would say pull a Frankenstein. You know, find a frame that you like we did here. I chose this frame because I liked it. I didn't know what the fuck a Mobula 8 was. I was just surfing the internet looking for, you know, a different frame for this because I didn't want to 3D print one. But we can take this flight controller from the so-called, it's no longer, the only thing that makes it no longer the Pavo Pico is the frame. Other than that, it's got the same motors and everything. I forget what these motors are from. So I would say find a frame you like and, you know, rebuild it. And then you'll have your own little a little, you know, they took the lime from the coconut and shook it all up, because that's basically all this is here. And then, of course, so every time I see there's a new drone, the this or that, the Pavo Fomento XT1, the first thing I look at is the flight controller. I'm like, wait, that's the same thing. And the only thing they have you guys hooked on is the eye candy when you think you're getting a new drone, but you're actually just getting just a new frame, a new body. As you can see, this one we 3D printed. This was for another drone I'll show you. So you just would never know. So, you know, if you're open to that concept and you're comfortable with a soldering iron and doing that, then you're golden. Like, I have a Pablo something. I lost track. I don't even know which Pablo it is, but I do know it's a Pablo because the flight controller is the Pablo. But as long as you can fly it and you get the frame, now we have a Pablo something, because we rebuilt it, gave it its own frame and 3D printed stuff, and it works. You know, it works fine. The only thing, I'm going to do a video on how to make a toilet strap, which was somewhere here, because I ordered, was this one it? No, there's somewhere around here. Sometimes the toilet straps they give you by default, are too long. But there's a way to jerry rig them so that this is what I did to jerry rig this one. This one needs to be sewn, so I'm going to fix that one. But as you can see, this would not fit on this is not going to fit on the Pavo. So what you can do is, one moment please. You can found it. I did it on this one. This one's a good one. This one I didn't rebuild, but this one we rebuilt because this one we got a new flight controller for. But actually, because the other one didn't work. But as you can see, so ideally, like if you're watching, this one we redid, but we sliced it. But I recommend the next one I'm going to do in the video is slice it in the middle, right? So like just it's even. So we just basically cut it, trimmed it down to size. And this is the original one, but it wouldn't fit in this drone. But as you can see, we cut it in half. So I'm just guessing, measure it, and then just cut it down the middle. So basically here, I'll show you. I'll pull this out. 1 second. I didn't hear no bells. So if you use this as a template, right? So instead of going down the end, right? Just slice it down the middle, right? So that you have a nice, it's a nicer cut. Instead of on the edge like that. See how it's on the edge? But if you cut it from the middle, so they have to cut two sides, but it'll be all right. And now you have one that fits inside of this. Yeah, you just jerry rig it, and then if you go to a meetup, someone will be like, "Yo, what kind of drone is that?" And you're like, "I don't know. It's mine." No, you just make up a name for it. You won't be like the kids. You'll be like, "I don't know. I don't know what's happening up there. I'm in the kitchen." So yeah, then it works. Except I think it's on backwards. And then you'll find, I don't know, for me, I don't know about you, I don't fly, you know, I fly these, but I don't fly them enough, especially with all these TFRs, and you know, you're your spotter. Oh yeah, I think I did put it on backwards. So you just want it to be ready to go, but as you can see, the hole is really thin, and if you're comfortable with that, and it's going to be so much cheaper because you got your motors, right? You got your batteries, you got your, well, you don't have the 04 yet, but look around. You'll find, check B&H. I wonder if they still have, like, someone returned it. It just said used on the box. Like, literally, here, I'll show you. And I paid $75. I mean, you know, I don't know if you're going to get that lucky again, but people are buying the stuff, getting into the hobby, and returning it. So here, look. I got an 04. It just says used on it. That's it. And it's the 04 area. You know, the packaging is a little covered, but you see the 04 light, and it's DJI. And you get it from a reputable place. So if you see a store like B&H or Rotor Riot or something, I don't know if Rotor Riot would, but selling a used, very certifiable, whatever it's called, refurbished, you know it's good for business because they're not going to, sell something so that you can bring it back. Although people are bringing stuff back because they, I guess, have second thoughts. Anyway, knowing that, moving forward, let's go back to the comments. RN, let's see, goggles, at least. Oh, I love the 03. I like the 03. And when you're flying, for me, I don't know, this is for me, I'm not reusing my footage for, like, you know, if someone's like, oh, I want the video, I'll reuse it like I did in the intro. But, hold on. I'll reuse it like you saw in the beginning. You see me flying. If I go here, if I go, you know, it makes a nice intro. Where are we? Ending, beginning. RC, oh, micro. There, but I'm not using the footage. It's more for the experience. As long as it comes in crisp and clear when I'm flying these little drones, it's for the fun of it. So if you can find an 03 for even cheaper, take it. But if you're going to be, if you want the footage, you know, because you got to have the 4K and then this and that, then, you know, then you're going to have to bite the bullet and do it. For me, I only did it, I just do it. These, for me, I don't know what other people are doing when they fly these, what they're looking for, but when I fly these, and submersing myself into the experience, like, oh my god, this is so cool. As long as I can see and doesn't go dark, right, lights out, I'm fine. But the 04 is cheaper too. But I'll show you what we did with what we're gonna do with the 04 too. Goggles, at least the 03 still works on the version 2 DJI goggles. That I'm not sure. I would check out Mads Tech. It's hard to say. I did do a video on the cross comparisons, but now since I only have the Integra, you know, we could always ask the DJI store in New York City, and then we'll call. We make these videos so you don't have to. Let's see, we'll call and ask. So you want to know if the 03 still works with the version 2 goggles. It should still. It sounds like they did work before, so yeah, most likely. I fly a Flywoo LR4. What's the Flywoo LR4? We'll check that out. TS1000 is my soldering iron. RM goes up to 400 Celsius. Ziggy, how much is 400 degrees Celsius converted into Fahrenheit?
400 degrees Celsius equals 752 Fahrenheit.
That's pretty good. But I'm running it depends, because on my pencil soldering iron, I was running, Ziggy, stop. I was running it at 725, 750, around there. So you're just right out the cutoff line. The newer soldering iron I have, remember, it's whatever works for you. This was sent to us. I would still be using the pencil. This one I have set to, I think it's 550. Hold on. 570. So this one is set to, and remember, it depends on the soldering iron, the solder, me stuff. See, 570. Oh, it'll get there. 570. It all depends on the kind of solder. Some will be like, oh, that guy's using 570. I want to set my settings to his. And it's tricky because on the one at the table, see, 570 is the cutoff. And then what I do is I keep touching the soldering iron with the solder until the solder starts to melt. Once the solder melts, because some people are like, oh, do 540, oh, do 525, oh, do 590. I just keep doing this, like, so I'll take the soldering iron, and as soon as I tap it and the shit melts, oh, sort of, where's that? So as soon as I tap it, I do like a 10%, 10 degree increments, and as soon as I do that, and it melts, then I know that that's my number. Maybe like, you know, I'll add 5 more, right? Because you don't want to, because sometimes with the soldering irons, well, you know, because it sounds like you know what you're doing. soldering iron's too hot. You cook the tip and you know everything else that goes with it. You might as well have ordered a rotisserie chicken. So yeah, so that's good with that. When you call DJ, oh wow, he was here. I didn't know you were here for that. When you called DJI, did they have the goggles in stock? I ran into the same website problem you were talking about the other day. I don't know. Well, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? You would think that they would freaking like it's good for business. Like if I was my store in New York City, especially because people come from all over the world to buy the. When I was there, a lot of people were buying the action cameras. Some people going in there to get their drones fixed and getting accessories. But you know, I ran into the issue where I would take the trip into Manhattan and then get there just to find out they didn't have it, right? And then like, oh, you could have ordered it online. Now I go online, they're like, oh, you know, just come to the store. Like, make up your fucking mind. Like, literally, like, I can't. And, you know, I don't want to spit travel for like freaking 2 hours just to find out they don't have it. But let's see we'll see if they have. You know, like, I don't know, to be honest with you. DJI NYC. So we have. David's a really nice guy too. He's the owner. Sometimes he's there.
Please hold while I try to connect you.
I could just feel bad for him because he used to have the store in Paramus.
Hello, this is Michael at DJ Fifth Avenue.
Hey,
Cameras, how may I help you?
Hey, Michael. Nice to chat with you. I just have a question for you. Do you know if the DJI O3 unit will work with the goggles version 2?
The DJI O3 unit will work with the goggles Vision 2. And no, it should. Let me just check.
Okay. So he's gonna check. Yeah, I use lead free, but remember, let me just put it on. I use lead free, but
So what were the goggles you're trying to pair with again? The 2?
the version 2, yeah.
Yes. No, sir. You can. No, it actually does not work.
Oh, it doesn't work. Okay, which goggles do you have in stock?
Goggles 2 or goggles that are compatible with the old thing.
But which do we have in stock? The 3.
We have the latest model that is compatible with the 04 or 04 Lite.
Yeah, we only have the latest model that's only compatible with the 04 or the 04 Lite.
Oh, bummer. Okay, all right. So I'll shop around elsewhere. All right, thanks so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. Have a good one.
You too. Bye. Wow. So I guess they're just upselling the new stuff. They used to be able to go in. You might have to try the Facebook Marketplace. But one thing if you do have to travel with the Facebook Marketplace, bring your shit with you so that you can see if it actually works and binds. That's the only thing I can say. Yeah, that is a dang for sure. Oh man, didn't need to call on stream for me, man. That's fine. Don't worry. We always call. We make these videos so you don't have to. You know, it's fine. I'm not worried about it. But it's good to know though, because if you watch drone cams, he's always like, "Yo, guys, you got to stock up. You know, get the latest equipment now because we don't know when we're gonna get it. Just do it if you have the extra money. Just buy a pair." Keep them on I like the way he does the news because it's like you don't have to Google what it means when he's talking about it. Like it's just simple, straightforward. The only thing I don't get is like I don't know. I'm not gonna stock up. A lot of those preppers are like, you need to stock up, buy gold. When the apocalypse comes, you're not gonna be able to cash out on your gold. Like buy silver, stock up now. Although when if the apocalypse comes, I probably would. It wouldn't have to worry about there being a TFR. I could fly my drone down the street to see if the zombies were coming and tell everyone to take refuge in the basement. I don't know, something like that, or just see how far the infiltrators are from being away. All right, so here we have here. So yeah, so now you know. It's a bummer with their website because their website's going to tell you a different story. So now, I believe I need to find a screw and a bolt. And these are the kits that I was talking about that that have everything you need in it, including the bolts. And the bolts usually come with flight controllers. So if you buy a flight controller, you should be fine with the screws too. Maybe, I'm not sure. But again, this kit, if you know you've had a Pavo, are so cheap, and you just need to make sure that you know you're using the right screws. So we have that there, that one, and then you have the different kinds of screws for the flight controller, and then the different kind of screws for everything basically. See, and this is for the Pavo. See, I just can't get over the fact how cheap they are. Like $5, whatever it is, $6. We'll look it up in a second. Doomsday preppers. Yeah, I know. I never understood. If you, I once got caught up with one because I was like, I chimed into Steve Ram's channel. This is just in, guys. Just in. Alert. You know, like Iran just got a nuclear bomb or something as a bomb. That's right. Prepare yourself. Like the shit's gonna hit the fan. And then I was like, wait. He said that last year. Last year the world was supposed to end. I feel sorry for those guys because aside from like having you buy silver, buy gold, right? They're stocking up at home with the MREs, which are the meals ready to eat. Because we actually had a doomsday prepper that lived on our street, and the house was a disaster. Not a disaster. It was nice because someone bought it. But he stocked up on stuff. So apparently when they went into the garage, he had barrels filled with gas. He had like MREs everywhere, like stocked. Barrels filled with water. They had to like get people to haul the shit out. But the funny thing is, I said to what was his name, Herb, who was telling me about it. Oh, you're prepping for the end. Looks like he died before the end of the world. You know, like he was prepping for the end, but he didn't get to see the end. Poor guy, right? When you think about it, right? I'm gonna prep. So yeah, and the MREs. So those meals ready to eat were expired. So he had like freaking boxes and cases filled with these MREs, and apparently you couldn't eat them because they were expired. So you know, that's the only downside to these preppers. But you know, and I don't want to be around when the shit hits the fan, to be honest with you. I always think that the lucky ones will die in the blast, right? Can you imagine like fighting for water, fighting for food, fighting to stay alive for as long as you can, right? Because remember, it's nuclear wasteland, right? So you're only going to live for so long anyway. So I'd rather not suffer and have just be, you know, like they say, the lucky ones died in the blast. There was a movie, I forget, the guy who was in the Terminator played in it, about the end of the world when they were in this fallout shelter. I forget the name of the movie though. Anyway, no need. We're just gonna have fun and fly until the end. Yeah. But the other disasters we prepare for, like we have water. You want to have water and a generator if there's a flood, right? You know, like stuff like that, and food and things like that. But not for the nuclear apocalypse. For the nuclear apocalypse, you want to. Well, you know. Anyway, we're just gonna have fun with our drone. So this part's tricky, but we're definitely gonna use. See, we made this. This is the 3D printed one. And that's why you need a toilet strap, because as you can see, the original Pavo frame can fit the 2S battery, whereas this one you're gonna need a strap on, and just make sure your PLA is, you know, strong enough to hold it. Remember, you have your front, back, and then the hardest part is going to be, we have to unscrew it to make it looser, because you have those little thingies in there, those little screws. And so we need the tweezers, and then this is nice because then we can we'll have the drone partially ready to go. So you have to unscrew the bolts. That's really cool, but I want to check out the other drone that you have, the Flywoo LRN4. Hold on a second, because I'm always interested to see what other people are flying. Which flight controller they're actually using. Because as you know, it's like the Zooland. It's the same thing. I feel like I'm eating crazy pills. Nobody gets it. Oh wow, no, that's like freaking. That's hard. That's amazing. Yeah, this is like the real. This is what I'm afraid to fly. This is just too big, man. And that's why I fly micro. And the other drone I had sat in the box for like a year because I was just so intimidated. And even if you looked at what's his name, Chase Momo. Hey guys, it's Chase Momo here with his sidekick girlfriend. He started off flying these drones, and he got really good at it, like so phenomenal. And then he just switched to micro. You know, once I switched to micro drones, I could fly. It was like a silent movie with subtitles. Like, oh my god, I love it. I can fly. It was like an amazing experience. Yeah, that's great that you can fly. You're not going to have any trouble. But the only issue with these drones I find is that, you know, once you build it, that's it. No one's, because I see a lot of guys on the meetups fly these drones. That shit ain't coming apart. Like unless it breaks and hold on, you know, you're gonna you know, do some customizations with it, but they're pretty rock solid. Like once it's done, and we're not going to be doing what we're doing here with these little guys here. We're taking it apart and doing a Frankenstein. So I could see why, you know, you're attached to that experience. But the 04 air unit will fit nicely in there. The only downside is that I don't think they have what do they call it? The protective lenses for the 04, which is a bummer, right? Like you just can't like go and get I need to take my glasses off so I can see, because with this, the hardest part, this is another hard part that get it with FPV, is those freaking bolts and nuts, right? And making sure everything turns correctly and make it just the right loose, not too tight. But I need to turn the bolt. Where's my screwdriver? Had it here a second ago. Oh, it's right there. I never. So with this, we'll take this off and put that there. That's a regular screwdriver head. I believe this is the head. And so now, except I think it's the same process with the propellers there, right? Like left is the top right and top left. Is it the same? I don't know. I've never flown those drones. We had one in the box, but I think it was a something 35. It was just huge. And I sold it. I met the guy. The guy traveled. He came in his car. He worked for the fire department in another town, but flew FPV and loved it. And he brought his goggles and RC. He was so happy because it was never open. I just couldn't, you know. I had the replacement kit and everything for it, but I don't know. It just wasn't my thing. It's just too big. But these I love. Once I started, you know, I started doing these little drones. It just opened up. I was able to fly. It just spoke to me. You don't have to worry about getting your fingers cut off. But they work. They're built like tanks, because the guys that bring them on the meetup, when they crash them, my God, they just hold. They hold their own. I think certain parts of it are metal on the frame that allow them to do that. But you know, it's just a different experience. You know, maybe one day I'll try it, but I don't know. Honestly, it's just not. So now I turn the bolt so it goes slower and lower. Now I can hold it, right, and unscrew it. That's the hardest part. If it lets me. So if I can somehow... Yay, I did it. Now I can unscrew. I got one. And that should be good enough. And then we got two. No, it's not working. That's where the tweezers come in handy. But yeah, that's the only bummer. But if you can find an 04 air unit, do it. Used is fine, as you can see. Mine is used. But you want to test it beforehand. You know, if it's a reputable buyer, they'll be okay with it. or B&H. B&H is great. The only downside to B&H is like if you buy it from there. I wonder if you could do the return online, or do you have to go stand in line and wait at the store? They just have a separate department for returns. That's the only downside. And sometimes it's like my 3D printer I got from B&H. I had to return it, but I had to stand in line for like freaking 45 minutes. It was worth it though. It was hard though because I had to carry that thing a couple of blocks because I had to put the car in the parking lot because no way I'm parking in New York City. You can come back and your car is gone. And so yeah, it was pain. I wish they would have loaned me a dolly other than the one from the sub 250. So now this is lined up. The hardest part was doing the press nuts on here. Getting them just right. So now if I put this in like this, like that, see, and I just keep turning it, but don't turn them all yet, just do a few at a time because you want them all to seat on correctly. But hard. FPV Unknown, one of our viewers / subs, guided us through this process. Amazing. Like, I never thought that someone on the channel would walk us through, gave us the rates, told us, about the press nut thingy, because I didn't know what a press nut thing was, and then a lot of stuff about the flight controllers, the CLI dump he taught us, and then he just disappeared into the shadow. It was like our mentor, and next thing you know, I'm teaching you. And all the rates I have on my drones were given to us from Midnight Off-Road Runner. I think he lives abroad. I think it's in London or Ireland, one of those countries. Anyway, because I wanted to slow it down. And everyone I spoke to here in the States on the meetups, a lot of the guys from the meetups were actually used to fly with Rotor Riot. I didn't know that was a thing. So when you would ask them, they'd be like, why would you want to do that? You can't do that. You're not supposed to. You're going to pick up bad habits. And I'm like, but I can. So a lot of guys are like that. Like the FPV connoisseurs, like they go Tom Cruise on you. You don't know FPV like I do. You just don't know, man. You're not, you need to fly in acro mode. That's the only way to learn. And I'm like, there's gotta be a better way. I'm like, fuck acro. I will fly in acro occasionally, and I recommend flying in acro only because if you want to build your skill and know what it's like to fly a drone that's out of control, so that when your drone is out of control, I recommend doing a refresher in acro every now and again. But if you're like me and don't like acro and want to fly FPV and have that experience, leave it in angle. I leave it in angle, but like once a month I have to recertify my training for that batshit crazy stuff, so that when you are pin tuning a drone, not really I don't pin tune, when you're working on your drone like this, you take it apart, you want to, sometimes you might accidentally put it in acro or things might seem out of control, but you know what to do. So everyone should know how to fly a drone that's out of control, but you don't have to commit to it, but it's a must-have skill. And then after that, you pick a lane and stay in it. And of course, not everyone's you might get frowned upon, you might get, teased, or be like, or forget the tease part. Someone might say, oh, you shouldn't be doing that. That's what I was told. I was told you shouldn't be doing that. You're going to pick up some bad habits. I'm like, really? I can make it upstairs now. And as you saw in the intro, with my bad habits, I can fly around the park. I can fly around my house with these bad habits. So, it works. You just do you, and you'll be fine. So my rates are for me, but if you like them, that's great. If you just got to figure out what works for you. My rates will get you off the ground in slow motion and not bullet time. I just can't. I can't fly in bullet time. So look, now that you get the frame back on, you turn each motor gently to make sure that it's not rubbing. Remember, this one's 3D printed, and if it is, just finagle it, move it a little, right? make the magic happen. The only thing I see, oh yeah, so that's for the, I think that's for the flight controller. These holes here, I can't remember because it's been so long, but we have a frame somewhere here, and even if we don't, remember, we can always 3D print one. Yeah, so this, I remember the frames have everything in there, so that's where those big long skinny screws come in handy. And as you can see, hopefully this would work, and you can't put it on backwards, so this has to go like this. See, it will go like that. Yay, we almost got. I do want to do a video and test out those Toledo 3D printed props. So you just turn everything, and if it doesn't fit and you see it rubbing, it just means that you just need to move it a little bit, you know, but you should be all right, because it's like so minute when it comes to the spacing. And look how small it is. It's my little pico chico chiquito. So now that we got that on there, this is the, so I can't recall, to be honest with you. I guess we'll find out now, right? If the if it's the 20-inch or the 14. Yeah. Hold on. One sec. Try now. Turn the knob. Yeah, what's up?
Okay. Are you still recording?
Why? What happened? Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. Then we won't turn it down.
Oh, give me 5 more minutes.
Okay, in 5 minutes. Okay.
No, like give me 15 minutes. But there's a TV upstairs.
Yeah, but it's cooler down here.
Okay, give me 15 minutes. Okay. All right. All right. So I because they want to watch TV down here. That's just fine. But I wanted, this was my time. This was supposed to be going to the pool. Apparently it's too hot to go to the pool. I'm like, yeah, it's summertime. They said it's cooler down here in the basement. Really? But hold on, we'll do a quick flight and then we'll test this out, okay? So let's see what we have here, because I hear them in the other room. They if they want to be down here, it's fine, but they can't be down here when I'm flying, because I fly crazy. All right, hold on. We'll do like a little test flight. Okay. All right, you guys. I just need to go. Can you guys go upstairs, please? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, 15 minutes. I hear you. All right. All right, let's see what we got here. Whoops, don't break your stuff. All right, we'll do a short flight, and then we'll let them come back and watch TV. Should be outside playing. I remember when you were little? Nope. Now they call that child abuse. Literally. It is. Dad made us go out and play. They're like, my daddy made us go outside and play. He's a mean man. Let's see what we got. I'm like, no. I'm really a nice guy. I'm just trying to give you guys the same childhood I had. We played, we got into trouble, we went roof hopping and stuff like that. We did a lot of crazy shit. You know, we were young. I don't think these kids know what roof hopping is. Let's see. Before I set it up. Damn it. Okay, the goggles, I forgot. It's not as easy as 1, 2, 3, and I told him 15 minutes. No, because we have to set, this should bind easily though. Okay, so we have that there. And then we have this here. I'm going to... We'll do one flight with this. I can't go upstairs because they're on that floor, so... Unless that was Rick Burns. Is that his name, Rick Burns? You see him fly around the house with his drone, and someone's in the kitchen, or even drone cams. Someone's in the kitchen cutting lettuce, and no, that's not me. I'm like, okay, you guys, I need everybody to leave the house. Dad's gonna fly his drone. All right, everybody out. Everybody upstairs in the basement. And they're like, all right. One day, maybe I'll be like the guy from drone cams and be like, okay, guys, just look out. I'm gonna be flying in the living room, doing my thing. No, it's not me. Make room. Clear out. Sound the alarm. Full speed right rudder. Boop, boop. Everybody runs out like, oh, there's pandemonium everywhere. Oh no, it's Lou. Yeah, I could still fly inside. I just can't. Like I said, I'll do the bowling alley fly through. Empty. I saw this one video where they did the bowling alley fly through. It was phenomenal. I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. I want to do that. And that's what inspired me to fly here indoors. I just at least I don't need to do a fly through. I just need to be able to. I want to be able to fly inside. You know, that's it. That was my goal. 04 air unit. Okay. Hopefully we have enough time here. I'll flip this over. I think it's forced landscape right. I'll get to the comments in a bit, but I just remember the kids are in a hurry to come back down here because we want to watch TV. It's too hot. Really? That's why they call it, I always tell them, that's why they call it summer. And then they don't get it. You know? They just don't get it. And we paid money for them to go to the pool. Like, it wasn't like I'm saying go to the pool because it's nice. Like, go to the pool. We got you a pool pass. Okay. Oh, nice. Crash flip. Battery's full. 95 degrees Fahrenheit. If we're lucky, we will get Samsung Me. Oh, man. I'll do the update later. Click not now. I need to put the goggles into wireless, right, so that we can see here. And click OK, and then push here. Samsung Me, so you can see me. Oh, there go the goggles. Sweet. And hopefully nobody comes downstairs. I hate when that happens. You guys have been here for that. We've seen that before. Hopefully the 04 air unit does not overheat. I'm gonna not now. DJI goggles, yay, and select it. Just try to be careful. You're not going to hear that bell, the buzzer, if you're out in the street and the cars are going. It's just, the traffic just sort of like washes out the noise. 138 degrees Fahrenheit on the goggles. Hopefully we connect. Yay, we got it. Sort of. Yep, we got it here, but we didn't get it there. That's okay, it crashed. And then I can just do here, unbind, and then do it again, and we should have it on 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay! Voila. All right, here we go. Alright, remember angle mode inside, 147. Once it hits 160 degrees Fahrenheit, it's just going to overheat and could fall from the sky. And that's why you always want to put your degrees and temperatures in there. Crash flip. And also turn on your remote. This is, oh no, hopefully, 153. Sweet. All right, we don't want to be in acro angle. I mean, you could if you're that guy, because some guys can really master it. That didn't work. There we go. Armed and dangerous. This is why. Whoa. Whoop. Whoa. Ooh, almost. See. Whoa. No. Whoops. Alright. Yeah, for some reason it was like getting out of control. Go there, crash flip. Start it up. Yay, we got it. And now we should be able to turn it off. And then backspace. Someone said there's no backspace, man. Whatever it's called. Crash flip. And now we'll start it again. It's weird because usually I don't have trouble flying, but it's like slanted. Let's get that out. Yeah, so for some reason it's like tilted, and that's why I crashed, because it wasn't flying straight. Okay. Again! Yeah, that was so weird. I don't know why. Alright. Backspace. I know there's no backspace. Except now it's not. Oh, there we go. It's just taking a while to catch up. Alright, cool. Now we should be able to... Oh, it also depends on the battery, too. I don't know if this happens to you, but... sometimes... See? It's not... It's like... Huh. That's weird. It leveled out. Crash flip. Backspace. And then now... it's arm. But... Huh. I'm going to take the battery out and then put it back in. Interesting. One of the propellers fell off, which is really weird, and I wasn't expecting that. So remember, top right and bottom right go in the same direction. That's an easy one because oh yeah, one of the propellers looks like it needs to be replaced. It just went on way too easily instead of like that, needing that brute force / strength. But it's okay, we have extra ones. So, you know, check your stuff. Sometimes propellers might fall off, and that's why shit don't work. But speaking of rates and tuning, one issue I had, hold on, angle. I'll tell you in a second. Going too fast, like way too fast. I put that little ninja thing in the middle because I thought I was going to be doing orbits in here, but I'm not there yet. It's a tight spot, but it's going fast, and I'll tell you why in a second. Maybe you guys will know this. Hold on, let me see if I can go around this. I think I should land soon, but if I use the stock battery, it's phenomenal. It's like je ne sais quoi. I use this newer battery with more milliamps, milliwatts, whatever it's called. No matter what your pit tunes are, it's just flying like a bat out of hell. But if I put the Pavo Pico battery, the 2S, I can hover right about here, spin around, see, whoops, and then land. Yeah, so that's the other thing. I don't know why that happened. So if I use the other 2S, I have more control. and because it has lower milliamps, and if I use the 2S that has like 6 something, I'll show you and I'll compare the two, and then I'll get to those comments that we came in. So a lot of times you'll hear, at least for me, I don't know about you guys, like, oh, it's the pit rates, but sometimes the battery too. Fly with a different battery with more milliamps and more, it gives you more power and more kick, and then you're like, wait, there's something wrong with the drone. You're like, no, it's just got that extra battery and giving it that power. So if I put, I'll show you. Let me turn it off so it doesn't overheat, but then I'll show you. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me tell the kids they can come down now. It's safe to come down. Daddy's not flying anymore. Hold on 1 second. Let me shut this. Let me quit this and quit the mirroring. And then go here. They probably shut their phone off. They don't want to talk to me anymore because I'm the worst dad ever. I made them go out and play. Hold on. Hello. Oh, sounds like it's going to voicemail.
I'm sorry, the person you
We
were
know they have their phones because they carry them like it's their Bible. Like literally, they sleep with them
I'm
too.
sorry, the person you were trying to...
See, now they don't love me anymore because I made them go out. Hold on, I'll tell them they can come back. You can come back now. I'm done. I'm done with my flying lessons. But now you see why I have to ask them to leave because this shit just goes flying in the first flight. And then once you take off, you're like, the second one, you got this. The second one, I can really come back. You guys can sit in the sofa now. Hold on. Oh wow, I left that on. So yeah, I told them I had to run. I thought they ran away from home. But they ran away from home because Dad told them to go out and play. All right, so I got some grapes from outside. It's really cool. I didn't have to go to the supermarket to get them. Now I just need to find my glasses. So this is the battery here, and I'll show you. I don't know why that makes a difference, but apparently it does for me. I don't know about you, but I'll show you the two different batteries. So I know, right, that if I, well, it's so messy here, full version of me stuff. So I know that if I put the 550 in, you saw in the beginning when I take off, it's like too much power, right? It's just out of control. I can't, not really out of control. For me it is. And when I put the 450 in, it's like subtle and like not so fast and crazy. It doesn't feel like you need to be Quicksilver. And why that is, I don't know. Maybe it's a weight thing because it's like off by that much. I don't know. Either way, for the different battery. And then once I put the battery in, I'm okay. I can fly, but I find myself I have to be quicker with the response time on the joysticks. Whereas with the other 4S, the beta 4S, I can like be Slowpoke Rodriguez and, you know, gently move the controllers as needed in a direction like my mind can keep up with it. Whereas in the other one, I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck is happening? I'm like, oh no, I got it. And then you just sort of have to readjust your movements so that they're gentler, or tweaked differently. Anyway, you get the idea. But let's go back to the comments and see what you guys are saying. Yeah, building a Pavo FPV. Oh man, didn't need to call on the stream from that. Don't worry about it. We make these videos so you don't have. There was more than that. Okay, yeah. Or surf down. Oh, surf down the mountain. Yeah, it's my. I would love to surf down the mountain. And to dive a building, you need acro. That is so true. Yeah, you do. Acro, great for cinematics. Or surf down the mountain. Not sure if you can do that in angle. No, it would have to be at a decline, like going, like, I know exactly what you mean because I've done it in the simulator. Let's see. I think you can. I'm not sure. Hold on. It's just not one of the things I do because you have to have a quick response time when in acro, like this, like that. You can still get the angle, the pitch that you want, but you just have to keep it steady. You just can't do a full dive. But you can do, if the mountain's like this, you can go down like that, right? But if it's a cliff, nah, you're not going to be able to do that. Well, we could test in the simulator an angle and see what we get. You got prop guard, reduces a lot of risk. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, and yours, that's the other thing that freaks me out. You have no prop guards. I'm not, you know, that part scares me, but, you know, I guess you get used to it. You just become confident and be like a silent movie with subtitles where, you know, you're just flying. You don't know why. You're just like doing it like I was trying to down here. Wait until you get the Lava 2S. You will say the same. Isn't the Lava... I think I have the Lava 2S. This is one of the batteries, right? Where's my Lava? I'm a chicken. No. I have a Lava somewhere. And I don't think I can fly with the Lava on this drone because it doesn't fit. This is the Lava. This is the Lava 2S. Yeah, but there's another. I have another 2S that doesn't fit on any of my on any of the 2S drones, which are right here. It's a different one. I wish it did, because I would love to have the extra battery flight time. So this 2S is a Ovonic 550, and it just won't fit. It's not, you know, it doesn't have that fitting. See. Just a little bit wider. I have this one. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this one, but maybe put it on a different drone, that a custom build. But knowing that and moving forward, now that we got that out of the way, you have to watch your props. Because as you can see, one little crash, which is fine. This thing we've crashed many times in the basement. You just have to have what's it called, plaster ready, or what the dry decks. Yeah, so sometimes, see, these got dinged up, but I have replacement. I think this was the one that came off. Oh yeah, this one. Wow, it's really loose. See, it just pops right off. I wonder if, you know, you could always swap it and change it. And it's not, remember, this isn't stock, the original sub 250. So that comes into play too when you don't use original parts. But if you're flying your drone and it's not going and taking off, obviously something. And sometimes a little thing, but like he was saying, the prop guards just help it so that you're not replacing these all the time. You know, you might be doing a little drywall, but that's pretty much it. And then this should go in like that. Yeah, so just check them every now and again. And even if your prop guards are on there and you're flying indoors, look for the dust bunnies, because that got tangled up in here the last time on one of our flights. All right, knowing that, moving forward, what we want to do is we want to see, and then we'll test out the simulator to see if we can get what kind of dives we get in angle mode. But I want to see if this actually fits in there, because if you do get the 04 Air unit, as you can see, our 04 Air, hold on, the light version, is on this sub 250, but it's in its casing under there, so that when you crash, no matter how many times you crash or put holes in your walls, it's going to be in there and it'll be contained. Or if I ride in the morning dew and it's not dry yet, we have it in the Access flying kit. But now I want to see if I have an extra one of these, because it just, you know, it pays for itself, and it's only like $20, this thing, like $15 or something, you know, depending on which part you get separately. But we want to see if this will fit inside of the Pavo 20 frame. So you have to make sure this is correct, because remember, one's for your VTX cable, your power your other cables, and the reset button. Not reset, the binding button is exposed, so you don't have to open it ever again. And you can pull a Frankenstein with this easily, and hopefully it fits in here. Yes, it fits to some extent. There's a little bit I'd recommend, you know, like taping it, getting some like extra putting tape over here on that side, right, so that it sticks to the bottom. And you might get jelloing, because I believe I have a video where I did this and it was just so much jello, but that's okay. You know, there's always a way around that. And then here you got the screws are there, which are great. So now, and some thermal paste. I haven't put the thermal paste on. I'm all right with it, because I just, you know, as you can see, I'm always watching the temperature, and if it overheats and you're flying, if you get it in the air fast enough, you're going to be all right. If you get it in the air so before it overheats, you're all right. But now I want to see if the other one fits. So we have, we'll put this back in. Oh yeah, that's so weird. I put everything away, but nothing went away. You ever do that? So we'll put this like that, the thermal paste. And I have thermal paste in a tube, so you know, you can use it and you ever need more, you know, always have that spare handy so that you can relube your stuff. But again, I haven't been doing so many flights with the sub 250 and the Access flying kit, and haven't had any. It only overheated once, and that's because I left it out laying like this, forgetting to shut it off, or not being. You gotta put it in the air. Putting it in the air just rapidly drops the temperature. We'll put this together on a separate video, but maybe next week. And today we're just going over the basics for the new guy. And then now, hopefully this has to go. And this is why you need, before I show you, it comes in two sizes, the 14 and the 20 millimeter, which is really weird, because I thought the 14 was going to fit on the sub 250 because it's like a micro drone. Nope, don't work that way. So now, as long as, oh yes, so this will work. Look, you just have to bring that in like that. Yeah, perfect. It's a little frail. I'll see if I can, what they have offer in the 3D printing world, maybe we'll revamp it, you know, redo something with it. We'll check to see before we sign on to, what is this, Pavo Pico frame? We know they have this for the Pavo Pico because we 3D printed this, but I wonder if they have the canopy part. This is still pretty good. But as you can see here, the little so-called micro drone still needs the 20 millimeter, I think it's called. I wonder what I have on the sub 250. Oh, the sub 250 is just using the camera. There's no, it's basically, you know, but the sub 250 would probably need the 20-inch too, because as you can see, and it's not really a sub 250. It is because of the frame, but the flight controller. They sent me, the folks at sub 250 sent me a flight controller, because the original one was glitching out, and they recognized it because they had me send it in, and they sent me a new one for the happy model. But honestly, once you try those beta FPV flight controllers, there's no going back. Like, they're just phenomenal. Like, so this is just going to be like a souvenir. Maybe we'll do a rebuild. We already did our rebuild, how to build a drone, with a previous flight controller, the Pavo 25. So maybe this will be for next year's build. We'll see. And I have other flight controllers here, just in case. But as you can see, we got a flight controller here, flight controller there, so don't need. But these are for the 2S, so we can only do so much with these anyway when it comes to a build, because there will be smaller drones. Knowing that moving forward. But I want to see what I have. And sometimes you just become like a little prepper in the beginning. You're like, oh no, I need that part because in case I crash. Oh no, I need that in case I crash. Oh no, I need that. And next thing you know, you're flying really well, you're not crashing, and all these spare parts just keep building up. And then you say to yourself, yeah, that's, at least I have that. I have that for arena. I'm all prepped and ready to go, but no place to go because, you've gotten good and you're just maybe replacing repellers here and there. Except if you got this thing, the Flywoo, like Baldo has. I could see replacing the props on that. But I've seen on the Jersey Droners and the meetups, they teach you how to build one of those drones. And they're heavy, but when they crash them, they're pretty resilient. Very resilient. So let's see what we have here. So this is as far as we got. Excuse me. I'm just going to do a recap before we carry on with everything. Even though we have some Novus flyers here. Hello, Island Play S. Oh, Roblox. Dang, I've always wanted one. I think we've got a troll in the room. Anyway, on that note, I'm just gonna recap everything really quick, and so this is as far as, or was it something shut off? As far as we got. Now we know how to put on our motors, which should work the same for a Flywoo. We've had one, but we've never flown it. So hopefully, this is for this particular drone. So we'll just leave it at that. But we know now, and this is how the drone is going to look when you do change the propellers. You're not going to be taking off the frame or anything. So when you do sketch it out, you just want to make sure that everything is good and golden. And if this was the top, see right here, so now we know where the top is, just like that. And now we know black, red, see, and then you have black, red, and then you have right here, back, black, red, see, black, red, and this is the back, right? Because the back is facing down. So actually, let's do that. Let's do back and put facing down, right? So when the back is facing down and top, right, facing you. All right, you got that out of the way. Now we know this is this way, that's that way. Oh, I can't say this way. Top left, right, bottom right, go in the same direction. They're going that way. Just think the Klingons are coming, Captain. And then the top right and the bottom right go in the same direction. Oh, wow. Oh, no, I thought I nicked it. Antenna goes that way, right? Antenna, and then this goes there. But antenna, I believe, I think it's all right like that. Some people have their antenna run in between here, like under, and then coming out like that. But then when you crash, it just keeps hitting, and then that's another story. But let me know about the antenna. How do you have your antenna? Do you have it like that exposed, or do you run it through underneath so it's under there, but then when you crash land, I don't know. anyway, we'll see what happens when we get it in the air. The Subila, right? Subila Mobile. The Sub 250, the antenna that's on the flight controller, not the antenna that's in your VTX or whatever, you know, your remote controller thing. I don't know where it is, to be honest. Somewhere in there. It's got to have one. I remember we took it apart. Remember we rebuilt this one too, because it just came with the frame. That's the other thing. When you get these like this, when you buy it like ready to fly out of the box, it's phenomenal. But when you have to take the shit apart and then somehow figure out a way to put it back together so that it flies, that's the nightmare. To get everything in there so that you can put, you know, your cable in for your flight controller, fit your flight. We think we did this on a live stream. I can't remember. Where we took it apart, and then it was a pain. This took like freaking a couple of hours, because it wasn't as straightforward as this, where you take it off. You take this off, you take that off, another piece comes off. It has these grommets. The grommets are the worst. These little rubber shock thingies. They're not the worst because they help the drone, but they're the worst when putting them on. We got a nick on the propeller, which is fine. It'll still work. It's more cosmetic, but always check your stuff before you fly. Because if you just assume you're going to fly, you're going to wind up with losing parts or crashing somewhere. As you saw here, we crashed. We put the drone back into the spot where we wanted to take off from, or someplace different, and then we tried to take off and we couldn't because the drone was lopsided, and I thought it was like an angle mode flip side crash flip thingy, but it wasn't. We lost one of the propellers. So just always check your drone after it crashes, because maybe a screw came off, maybe a prop came off, or a part came off. That's going to be hard to get, especially at times like this when good luck finding anything. And especially Buladua is looking for an 04 air unit, right? But keep checking. You'll find something. There's always going to be someone on the Facebook Marketplace selling their stuff too. But I would just recommend, if you do the FB Marketplace, someone local, where you can drive 2 or 3 hours away to get the part you need, as long as it's a wash when it comes to the gas. And that's it for there. That's all for FPV in this session. And maybe next week we'll put it together. We'll do a CLI dump, right? And we'll get this baby up and going in no time. This is our little project right here. I'll see if I can find... these are really fragile, to be honest with you, compared to the one that we printed here, but this won't fit. We probably could get this to fit if we worked on it in the 3D printer, but I'd rather find one that's already out there, so I don't have to go crazy printing and printing again until we actually get it right. So let's go into the sim. That's the end of that. And now let's see what we have here. See what kind of dive we can get right in there. We'll test a couple of the programs out. We'll do Steam, but we'll try liftoff and liftoff for micro drones, which is really cool. You know, and these grapes are pretty good. I grew them in my backyard. First year we didn't get any grapes. Here, while the app's loading. So we got, and they come in bunches too, and the kids don't like them because they have seeds in it. They're used to the grapes in the stores. I'm like, yeah, but that's how grapes come. They took out the seeds in the lab. They're like, really? I'm like, why are they in there? I was like, because that's how they grow naturally in the wild. Like, are you sure? Like, it's really crunchy on the inside. I'm like, yes, I wouldn't lie to you. I'm not bullying. And so now they're used to the grapes without seeds. Hey, Bob, what's up? Bob's here, Swedish Forge. Hey, what's up, Ken? Oh my God, speaking of Ken. Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, what's up, guys? I had the other one in another window. I didn't see it. It was behind. But here. Watch that video if you... remember with the what do they call it, the TFRs, can't make that shit up, but watch it. You may not watch any of my videos, but if you fly drones, watch that video. I'll leave a link to it in the description. It's only like 4 minutes. Oh wait, hold on. Hello?
I need you to take the girls to art. I can't get off of this meeting.
Oh, okay. I need 5 minutes, okay?
As quickly as you can.
Okay.
Because they're going to be late, and we have to pick up Sophia.
Their friend? Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Alright. I have to take them to camp. Oh, they could have walked there, to be honest with you. But they chose to stay here and watch TV. Alright, so we'll do really quick. 1 lap in the simulator. You're killing me, guys. That's okay. We make these videos so you don't... I got 5 minutes. Lift off. And then next week we'll try micro drones. We'll do 1 lap. 1 lap takes, I think, I don't know, a minute? Alright. Oh, Samsung only. We'll do Samsung Me. There we go. And then we'll do race. And then we'll do here. I like Hanover. But there are many different. See, my best time is 4 minutes and 24 seconds for 3 laps. So I think we'll be alright. Will be a minute, right? And then the outro to say goodbye, another 2 minutes so you guys can hear the song, and then all that other fun stuff. But tomorrow we got 3D printing, so it was really cool. I wish I could do this all day. This is just fun. And they'll let it load. But yeah, I got to take them to camp. Then I got to pick up a friend along the way because apparently their friend. Hold on. Oops, got to plug this in. No, we're losing 30 seconds. Remember the remote shut off. There we go. We'll see what we get in angle. Is that? Oh, that's manual. Oh, I can't do angle in here. I can do angle if I switch a drone, but I think you're right. We'll save it. This is full manual. Bummer. That's okay. We'll save that for next time. And go in here. We'll do 1 lap in M mode. I like having the DJI experience in here. Whoops. Because it simulates the full M mode. Right? Must work well under pressure. It's hard working under pressure, knowing that I've just been granted like 5 minutes and I gotta take the kids to camp. Whoops. And all that other fun stuff. Wow, why is it like a little wonkers though? Go on the wall. I feel like it's a little wonky. But that's okay. It probably just needs... When that happens, just reboot it. Like if you've flown in the simulator before and things aren't working the way it's supposed to, this would be a dive, right? Like that. Then just reboot it. Then it means something's wrong with the boot. 45 seconds. You got this, Lou? Use the force, Lou. And then, you know you're in M mode when you can do dives and flips. Yeah, I think you're right though. I think the pitch angle. See, if I wasn't in a hurry and had to go, I need you to take the kids to camp. I've got a call. I do that sometimes too. Like when I don't want to do something, like, oh, I gotta go to work. I see you guys. I gotta go. They need me. And then I just go to like cafe and have lunch or something. So I'll have to, you know, like sometimes the kids, you know, kids will be kids. And then I come back later and they're like, how was work? Oh, it was really good. Ooh, sweet. Yeah, that's how we know. Anyway, I gotta go escape. It's camp time. Hello, friends. You can't even say hello, guys anymore because now it's hello, friends. Do they have that where you are, Swedish Forge? Because you have to say hello, friends, because you say hi, guys. People get offended. And they're like, I'm not a guy. You know, or hello, boys and girls. You can't even say that anymore. That's why as soon as you show up, I'm not the counselor, but you got to say, hello, friends. I'm like, what the fuck is that? I was like, all right, I'm not a happy camper. And even in the military, there was a thing where it's like, all right, ladies, get your asses. It's time that you got 15 minutes to shit, shower, and shave. Now the drill sergeant gets written up if he says, "All right, ladies," because it's, you know, I don't know. It doesn't matter. We don't do politics on the channel. But anyway, hope this video helped you. If you have any comments or questions, feel free to leave them down below, or ideas for other videos. Remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you all next time. I hope this video helped you with your micro drone session so that you can get up and running, change your props, know how to put them back on without, you know, putting them on wrong and reflashing or configuring your flight controller when it doesn't have to be. Just put them on correctly and they've got you covered. And I've got to go because I hear someone coming, and we'll see you all